You just got served up another episode of the Big Boys Podcast. You ever think to yourself, I'd like to have a movie starring the boy band B2K? Well, somebody did back in the early 2000s. That's right, this week we're discussing the 2004 dance drama, You Got Served. So join us on the dance floor this week on Big Boys.
Prepare to be mesmerized and or mortified.
Well, what's happening there?
Old Sorrel's here had him something now.
You son of a...
Yeah, clever. Kind of soft and only like in one ear.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
Look at those boys, ain't they?
Big Boys with Brian Hickey and John the Great. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another beautiful, fantastic episode of the Big Boys Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Hickey. With me, as always, is my cohort, my co-conspirator in all things podcasting, Sir John the Great. Johnny boy, what's new with you? What is new with your junk?
Well, most directly, I'm giving strong thought to ordering pizza after we get done with this. But
yeah. I realize that that's my new way of just checking in with you, is just asking what's new with your junk. But it does tickle me when you say something that sounds like it would be alarming to relate to your junk.
Yeah.
In response. What's new with your junk? Well, I'm thinking about getting some pizza. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I might want to let that cheese cool. Yeah. Not to kink shame.
Oh, so
yeah.
Exactly. It's like, guess it wasn't red enough. You had to throw some tomato sauce in the mix.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, don't knock it till you tried it.
You know what? I will neither knock it nor try it. That way I'm safe.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this is what episode? This is season 3, episode 3. This is us reviewing the great, the fantastic, the one of a kind, You Got Served, starring Omarion and Marcus Houston from the legendary boy band group B2K. And
I completely forgot about that group, to be honest.
Oh, me too, buddy. If this movie didn't exist, I probably would have never remembered them at all.
I'm trying to think if I ever actually even knew.
Thank the heavens. Yeah. Well, I remember watching this at my cousin's house when I was, I guess, because this was like 2004, so I must have been 14 or so.
Yeah.
You know, this is about the time that I was discovering that TRL was a thing, even though I think it would shortly be canceled only in, a handful of years after this. But watching this definitely brought me back to 8th grade, 9th grade. I'm just like, oh, wow, yeah, this is because it's weird because I don't think it was like a MTV produced movie, but they certainly did a lot of promotion for the movie on MTV. Like I remember they had a lot of like little dance battle reality shows, like helping promote this. And of course, maybe it's because they have like some they had like some TRL DJs in the movie, so maybe they were helping promote that as well, just in order to bump up their star meter. Like Lala's in this, which I had forgotten about her for a while. I wonder what she's doing.
Yeah, I'm not even sure which one that was.
She's the gal talking to camera at the end of the film, giving the
the host, yeah.
Yes.
For the dance battle. Yeah, and that was hosted by MTV in the show. So MTV definitely got plugged like in the movie.
Yeah, but it wasn't like that was where it kind of got weird to me. I was like, okay, this is definitely like MTV is definitely a proponent of this film. But I didn't see in the beginning or ending logos of like an MTV film. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think it was an MTV film. Yeah,
which is pretty crazy.
A lot of times I go back and watch movies from this area, 04, early to mid 2000s, and I don't feel like a lot of them feel dated. This one feels very dated. Like,
yeah, well, in the immortal words of that was it a Timberland song they played like 5 times throughout the movie?
I don't recognize any of the music in this movie. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if our viewers are surprised by this, but this is not my usual bag. So this was all a brand new experience for me. Yeah.
This is kind of in my bag, man. I enjoyed the soundtrack to this, except for like there's like one part in there where they'd put like an 808 beat under a Claire de Lune. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I remember that. Yeah. When he was like shooting basketball, and I was like, huh.
Yeah.
It was like under Beethoven. Yeah.
Yeah, just like either use Beethoven or get another fucking or play that fucking Timberland song for the 7th time. Like this is gross.
And Timberland's cleaning up on this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you don't know now, you're gonna find out.
Because I do remember there was that good several year period because of this movie, everybody was saying you got served over like everything.
But it's fantastic. Yeah. It's just the worst scathing, harshest thing you could ever say to a human being, you know?
Yeah.
Same, you know, call somebody a motherfucker or, you know, or just a bastard or, you know, just anything is more thoughtful than saying that you got served.
Yeah, it's like you call them that, and they're just like, whatever, man, sticks and stones. Yeah. Like, you got served. That's across the line. Like, I'll kill you.
Do you not believe in souls? Because you just killed 9. How fucking dare you to tell someone, not only to just serve someone, John, but to inform them afterwards that not only are they suckers, but they're suckers who got served.
But they were, in fact, served.
Well, John, I'm glad you brought that up, because that brings us to our first ad of the show that we're going to do here. This is for B2K Accident and Injury Associates. And this is Omarion is going to be giving us an ad read for his legal services. However, Omarion really likes to, you know, attract clients of every kind. You know, he likes to look at the accident and injury attorneys who have blown up before him. So he kind of takes on the impression of Jim Adler, the Texas Hammer. So even though it says it's, you know, even though Omarion is reading this as himself, he's doing a Jim Adler impression. Okay. So if you could, I'm glad,
because I was like, I don't know if I can act this as Omarion without sounding kind of racist. So, like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a very thin fourth wall I was building there, but way to break right through it.
Yeah, because I was like, oh my god, if I got to try to do an Omarion impression from this movie, I don't think that's gonna come across the way that we want it to.
No, and yeah, well, guess you thought about that.
It might be in bad taste, is all I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're cleansing the palate, trying to give you some good taste here.
Give us some Jim Adler. Now I can do some Jim Adler. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, this is Omarion, the Service Hammer ad read. Whenever you're ready there, Sir Johnny.
All right. What's cracking, my accident and injury victims? It's your man, Omarion, the accident and injury pop, luck, and justice serving attorney. I'm not just dropping beats, but I'm also dropping knowledge on accident cases. I'm not going to let your case get lost dancing in the background of the bureaucratic legal system like it's Kevin Federline twerking in a music video. I'm the lawyer who will have you saying, Omarion served me justice and B2K is still relevant.
Omarion, if we can give a quick note, Jim Adler is usually he's infuriated while he's giving you legal services or asking for your legal services. So if you could just inquire that further into the continued read, that would be great.
Okay, thought it was, but maybe I just need to get angrier. All right, picture this: you're gliding through life, hitting those moves, and suddenly, bam! You catch a curveball that sends you spinning faster than a DJ's turntable. Most lawyers might do the cha-cha around the details, but not me. The cha-cha is not even my demographic. I'm breaking it down like a dance battle. No missteps allowed. These suckers are here to get served, and I'll be the one serving them. Breathe in, breathe out, because justice is what I'm all about. If life hits
That's great, Omari. Can I try doing just giving you one read from a paragraph myself to kind of give you an idea of what we're going for here for your ad here? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If life hits you with the move you weren't ready for, I'll step to the streets on your behalf. I don't give a fuck if I wasn't in that movie. Omarion, your accident injury lawyer. I'll have those insurance companies dropping like it's hot to settle your claim. It's not just about justice. It's about making suckers mad because they know they just got served. Justice, that is. So, Omarion, do we kind of see what we're trying to go for?
I feel like that's a little more WWE than Jim Adler, but I get where you're going, you know.
Sorry. Before we get back to recording the ad, Omarion, do you mean to tell me that you couldn't see Jim Adler in a WWE match?
Maybe that would be his name, the Texas Hammer. That's his signature move, because Hammer's nail hides the walls.
Right. And I rest my case, Omarion, if you can continue the last paragraph.
Okay. Whether you've been served by a legal curve or slipped on drama thicker than Wade Robson's dance career, look into it. I'm your legal maestro. Let's turn that stumble into a victory dance. Omarion, the lawyer will have you saying, you got served justice. B2K tickets are also available.
Fantastic. You really nailed it in that last one there.
Yeah.
Good. Great. I can't even begin to fathom the amount of clientele that you're going to have coming your way.
I just imagine Jim Adler doing WWE is what I did.
There we go. We found it. We found the note.
Yeah.
That's all we needed.
Yeah.
Have you seen those Jim Adler commercials of him doing it in Spanish?
Oh, yes, I have. Yeah.
Absolutely priceless. Because the man does not, like, everything translates. Like, I don't know half of what he's saying other than, yo, so is Jim Adler.
You don't get Jim Adler commercials out there, do you?
No, but I have YouTube.
Okay.
And also, he was featured on an episode of Last Week Tonight, which they did just a great parody of his commercial as well.
Nice. Yeah, I remember as a kid seeing those commercials and being like, what?
Yeah, fantastic. And then when his son gets in the mix,
yeah. Yeah, his son is doing it now, too.
Yeah. Oh, those hammers, you know?
The hammer's nail hides the wall.
What is that you're saying there? Like, what?
It's from one of his old commercials where he was talking about, because he's the Texas Hammer, and basically he was going to pound them for all the money you deserve or whatever, you know, and he was doing that, and he was like, Hammer's nail hides the walls, and, you know, like, and so I'm the Texas Hammer. I don't remember exactly what it was. I just remember that line. Like, yeah.
Say it one more time. Hammer's nails hides the wall?
Yeah, like he's going to nail your hide to the wall.
Hammer's nails hides the wall.
Nail hides two walls. Nail is a verb. Or like Hammer's nailing your hide to the wall.
Oh, hammers nail your hide to the wall. I thought you were saying like that nails were hiding in the wall.
No. Hide, like your skin, like your hide. Hammers nail hides the wall.
What kind of crap is Jim Adler on?
Yeah.
We make the nails hide inside the walls.
Yeah, not hammers.
That's how scary with a Texas hammer is.
Yeah, it's not nails owned by the hammer. It's
I got
the action the hammer performs. It nails, in this case uses a verb, a hide to a wall.
Mm. I see. Yeah. Very, very clever, Jimmy. Very clever.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Oh man. Yeah. Did you get the Wade Robson reference in there?
Was that the guy on the opposite team?
No, he's the guy who was like the MC of the last battle. The guy that they come out, he's like, oh, and you might know him from being a choreographer for such and such and such and such pop stars.
I didn't catch his name. I saw where he was saying like, I've choreographed for Britney Spears and all these people. But I ain't never seen nothing like tonight, you know.
The only thing that like it definitely strikes different now. It didn't then, but it's almost like going back and watching Jerry Seinfeld's Comedian, where the climax of the documentary is when he goes and meets Bill Cosby, and this movie was made in 2000, and so it was like it had a. Now, if you watch it today, it's like, oh, this has a whole different meaning, a whole different feel to it.
Yeah.
Something to do with Cosby and drink.
Well, the Cosby name has just been sullied, so it's like almost like even just anything with him or mentioning him is like taboo now. So with Wade Robson, what he's more known for now, because at this time he was known for being, a highly sought after choreographer, and he had like hip hop Dance Your Way to Losing Pounds or whatever. He had like some workout tapes like that. And now he's more known as one of Michael Jackson's more well-known accusers.
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing that here, yeah.
And I think he might have like his stage name or choreographer name is Wade Robb, I think. I don't know, because I think that's all he said was, hey, it's Wade Robb or whatever. But Wade Robson, yeah. And he said, like, if you're looking it up, it says he's Australian, but I mean, the guy has like the,
that's where he's
accent.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was going to say the guy's got like the strongest SoCal accent you've ever heard. It's like, just like, yo, what's up? I'm Australian.
Yeah, exactly. That would be awesome. An Australian SoCal, and he's just like, oi, hang 10, bro. Like, steps up.
The waves are going to go crashing down like, crikey.
Crikey. Yeah.
But, so yeah, it's like watching this, oh shit. And like, it just, every awful joke just comes to my head every time he talks. I'm like, man, I haven't seen anything this bad since. Like, well, hold up. I think you probably experienced something slightly worse than this.
Yeah. At that point, he was still holding it inside. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Which, kudos to the man for speaking his truth after all this years. But it's brings a whole new meaning to that breathe in, breathe out song. Like, just
that got me. I noticed that all it did was say breathe in, breathe out like 40 times.
That was a good song, though. I like the track. Like I said, I really enjoyed this the soundtrack to this movie. Other than dog shit, Claire de Lune with an 808.
Yeah.
Might as well have had some guy going like da-da-da-da, oh, da-da-da-da, oh. What the fuck are you doing? They took a swing. They just missed. Sometimes you take a swing and you miss.
Yeah, well, I think there was a period of time in here where remixing stuff like that was popular.
Oh, for sure. And I don't think it's necessarily gone away. I just think it's, as you said, maybe it's just less popular.
Well, because like you remember when we were in high school, it had just been a few years after this, that one song came out, got really popular. That was just all it was set to like the nursery rhyme, like "Do Your Ears Hang Low."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I forgot what the lyrics of the nursery rhyme were because that song just got so popular.
Yeah.
I just think about the chain. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember at the time thinking, like, this is
that?
ridiculous. How is it popular? I remember kids in band like trying to play it, and I was like, really? Like, you're gonna learn it? Like,
well, here's my rebuttal to that, sir. I mean, the chain hang low. That actually makes more sense to me. I could fathom that. What is it? What are they talking about with "Do Your Ears Hang Low"?
Who knows the origin behind that? I think it's just a fun song.
Well, every quote unquote fun, children's nursery rhyme also always has like some dark undertones,
Yeah.
So I kind of commend them for making this about wearing jewelry, because if it was like, I don't know, Red Rover, like, my God, what an awful song about children dying of the plague.
Well, that's what Pocket Full of Posies was.
That's what I'm thinking of, yeah. Ashes to ashes. Oh, what a good time. All the children.
I'm trying to remember how that even goes. But yeah, it was like a pocket full of Ring Around the Rosie. That's what it was.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
You know, who knows about Red Rover? Who knows? Who knows what atrocities they're speaking about with that? Is that like your dog dying? I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out what song that was. I don't think it was Claire de Lune.
I'm pretty sure it was, man. But yeah. Anyways, this was like a trip down memory lane for me, going back and watching this movie. You know, it is the only. I mean, I think Omarion might have went on to have a solo career. Maybe Marcus Houston as well. Marcus Houston went and did a bunch of acting after this. He did like all the later House Party movies, like House Party 4.
The like straight to DVD
5.
ones?
Yeah. Which I think they actually even remade House Party again with some other people that I'm not familiar with. But it was like, oh, dude.
Yeah, I think they recently did a remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that you mentioned it, I kind of forgot all about that. Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I guess it makes sense if you think about it, but I just assumed it was because, you know, Omarion and Marcus Houston aren't exactly giant individuals, but, like, is, like, the average break dancer, like, 5'6"? Because, you know, you got, like, Steve Harvey, who's, you know, he's a tall guy, but I don't think he's, like, you know, he's not a giant. I think at best he's probably 6'2", right? But, like, he just stands, like, towering over them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's 6'1", so like that's tall, but that's not like freakishly tall. It's just like a couple inches above average. Like
most of the bad break dancers, aside from Kevin Federline, who I totally forgot was in this movie as well.
I didn't even recognize him either. Shows you how well I know any of this stuff. But yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, this was before he was dating Britney, and it was like, of course, before he was dating Britney, all he was known as being a backup dancer. He's in Wade's crew as the guy. Well, one of the guys in a tracksuit who has a ponytail.
Yeah, I would say that doesn't narrow it down much in this.
No, I was going to say, it's only 4 other men in that group, which is just great, man. Which, by the way, you know, I'm happy for them at the end of the movie. You know, Little Saints, the group as they come to call themselves after B2K killed a child in their own movie, which is crazy to think that a movie centered around a boy band is like, you know what? We need to have a dead kid in this film.
That seems like it came out of nowhere. That seems like they had writer's block and we're like, all right, how are we going to get these guys back together? Basically, like they had their ending predestined, but they're like, how are we going to get from point A to point B? And we're like, we'll kill the kid. That's great motivation. Yeah.
So what's wild is that they did that, and you would think, okay, well, this would be the turning point of why they would have to get back together to face them. But no, they don't need. They're like, nah, still fuck you. I'm going to go do it solo. Until it gets to the last minute, it's like, hey, man, there's only 10 minutes left in the movie. What do you say?
Let's stick it to these guys. Like, all right, yeah.
Everything's
the kid wasn't
now.
enough, but
yeah. Losing a 9-year-old wasn't enough. I mean, that was just enough for us to name our group after him, but we're not going to, like, you know, squash old beef because of the death of a child.
But I'm still mad. That's the thing.
Exactly. So back to my original point. Of like, you know, I'm psyched that you know, they win at the end and they get the $50,000, but like, man, ain't there at least bare minimum 10 people in that group? And it's prize money, so you know it's heavily taxed.
Yeah.
And so what are we talking here? Like a couple thousand a piece for everybody? It's not. Unfortunately, I don't think it's like as life changing as money as they hoped it would be.
Oh no. Yeah, I was thinking that same thing. Also, speaking of which. I mean, I guess they are getting a little more because I guess they don't have to pay the gang leader back anymore.
They don't have to pay back Little Joe from Half Past Dead.
Oh yeah, that was him, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
But
there's a theme here.
Here's my thing. What was Steve Harvey's character? Like, I was basically, as I was watching develop, and after he was saying like, I took care of that, I was like, so is he like the actual like gang leader that runs that neighborhood, but he's like benevolent.
Right, yeah.
He's like, I just want to take care of these kids. They're dancing fools, and I just want to make sure that they're taken care of. And I can't let something like that go down in my neighborhood, you know. And like, he's really the closeted like godfather of that area. Like,
I'm so glad you said that because I was going to make that like even thinking it was a very outlandish and funny point, but it's like, yeah, he is clearly the benevolent kingpin of Baldwin Hills.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've run this place.
Yeah. The Baldwin Hills boss.
Because basically, just because he said so, like that guy's not a problem anymore. Like
exactly.
he sent his, and what happened? He said he sent his guy to take care of it. It's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. And to put one further, Steve Harvey is in this storyline is just known for running the community center, where he's hosting all these dance battles. But I didn't see him taking a cut of the profits. How is he? He's staying open in Baldwin Hills as a nonprofit. And
yeah, I think that's a front.
I was going to say, sounds like a good way to launder your money.
Probably got a lot. Exactly. Yeah. A money laundering.
What is his character's name? Mr. What?
Mr. Rad.
Yeah. Like it just would have been great if, like, after at the end of him talking to Marcus Houston's sister, he's like, Mr. Rad knows everything that goes on in Mr. Rad's neighborhood. And whatever his name is, Little Joe from Half Past Dead ain't going to be a problem. She's like, oh, my God, thank you so much, Mr. Red. Yeah, kiss the ring.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what did you do? How did you ever convince him? Be like, he's dead. Like,
exactly.
Yeah. Be like, Little Joe ain't doing. Yeah, be like, Little Joe ain't doing nothing no more. Like, yeah, he ain't going to be a problem for anyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Or just like, better yet, who do you think had your brother had his ass whipped? Thought he was gonna go smuggling in my fucking in my neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. It was like all he did was give an excuse to take out the competition. He's been a thorn in my side for too long. Yeah.
It's like, God, that Mr. Rat is one cutthroat motherfucker, but he gives these kids great advice.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, but he's really got him on the straight and narrow. Like, yeah. He's a monster, but he's a great influence on the kids.
Yeah. Don't want to go too dark, but I mean, where was he when Little Saint died, huh?
Maybe it was a setup.
Oh, by the way, like we can agree that Little Saint is no way he's older than 9 years old, right?
Yeah, if so, not by much. He had to be like 10, 11 max, like.
And so they said when they were at Marcus Houston's,
he was pre-puberty for sure. Like his voice was still all high.
Yeah. When members of B2K were all at Marcus Houston's home, which I assume was the former office of a dentist, did you see their window frame in their front door? Like they had the glass window design, but it's shaped like a fucking tooth. It is so distracting.
No, I hadn't noticed that.
Dude, if you go back and I swear to God, it looks like a tooth with a root and everything. Like it looks like, oh, that's where, like if I'm lost and like, where is the dentist office? Oh, door with a tooth. That's gotta be it.
And they're like, get out of my house. Oh, sorry. Just, but you can understand where, like, I say get out.
You get it, right? Yeah. So, anyways, where was I going with that? Oh, so yeah, like he was like, man, like I was always telling Little Saint, like how important friendship was, and he, he'd always say to me, like the two main guys from B2K, and and he's like, if we were, keeping an eye on him, he wouldn't have died out cruising around with his friends. Like cruising around with his friends.
Yeah, what, in a stolen vehicle? Because they certainly don't have licenses. But, yeah.
I'm gonna say, well, that's how he died, right? Like being a 9-year-old and like trying to drive in LA traffic. You're toast.
So I was pretty close. The kid was born in '92, so that made him 12 when it was released. So probably 11 during filming.
Oh wow, but he was a young looking,
But even then, 11.
Sure.
Like we're not talking like, I mean, that's still a kid.
Yeah. Still wouldn't expect him to handle, just hopping in someone's car and.
Yeah, what like cruising down, Crenshaw, like
It is,
like.
Well, even that, it's just a child operating a motor vehicle. Like, of course he died.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, it wasn't from the crash? Yeah. No. He died before they could crash. Like, well, especially because they said somebody sprayed up the vehicle. So were these like 11-year-old gangs? Like, did they have beef with like?
They had beef in Mr. Rad's neighborhood, and he wasn't going to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Rad knows everything that goes on in Mr. Rad's neighborhood. I still can't. I'm still just digesting. I cannot believe a boy band movie killed a child.
I think we need to make a parody skit for Mr. Rogers, but it's Mr. Rad's neighborhood.
Dude, for sure, man.
Yeah.
What's wild to me is they kill a kid in their boy band movie, but clearly, like, you could tell it was a producer's note or their manager's note of like it's a weird early fade to black when they first go and pick up. I don't know if it's Little Joe's money that they're giving to the guys that are dealing the drugs, or if they're giving them the drugs to whatever. Anyways, they're smuggling for him, right? And it's like they do a hard cut before, like, it's like, well, that could have been like a pretty cool montage of them going, door to door and doing whatever. But I guarantee, like, one of their managers or somebody who was looking after them, the publicists, was like, we cannot have our boy band kids like dealing drugs in this movie. Like, we can show them picking up money for the drugs, but we can't show them doing the exchange, because it's just a weird cut of like, oh, we're gonna have to go do this real shady thing just so we can make ends meet. Fade to black. They're waking up on Marcus Houston's mom's couch.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do that. But like,
I guess the point was,
a child dying. Put that in that B2K movie.
Yeah,
we got to have them argue about this and then still not resolve their differences over a dead
like
child.
They're very callous. They'd be like, I don't care. The whole crew could die. I hate you. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. What is? Could you do me a favor? Look up, because what does the B2K stand for? Because from boys to men, all I can think is like boys to kids, boys to killers, boys to clowns with a K.
I'm sure it probably got something to do with Y2K, like Boys 2000 or something.
That actually makes a lot more sense.
Especially like when they were coming out,
I was going to say, yeah, because it probably took them a few years before they were huge like this. Because this movie was like the last big thing they did. I think they had a really big album that is obviously somewhat featured in the movie. And then this movie came out, and then they just kind of, like a lot of pop musicians do, just kind of teetered off, which, is what it is.
I hit the nail on the head. Together they would adopt the B2K, the name B2K, an acronym for Boys of the New Millennium, a reference to the Y2K era.
God damn, Johnny, you were one hell of a detective.
Yeah.
I've been.
It was a hunch.
I've been just stewing on that for well over a week. Like, what does that mean? I'll just wait to ask John, because I'm too lazy to Google it myself.
Because I could have Googled it any time this last week. Looking on my phone, like, without even getting up. But
yeah. But I like to live in a perpetual state of believing that it's 1995.
You know what? That's retro, and I think that B2K would appreciate that for a movie like this. Like, this was before the smartphone generation. Like, this was like I don't know. Maybe people in bigger cities had faster internet, but I know we all had dial-up in 2004.
Yeah, heavily influenced flip phone movie. A lot of phones flipped in this movie.
That was back when the flip phone was cool. Like, oh man, like your phone folds in half. Oh,
they still are. It's aesthetically pleasing. That's probably not the right term for it, but feeling the flip, hearing it, the click.
Yeah,
a lot more pleasing than
they're bringing them back now. Now with technology, they're even getting like where it's a smartphone, but the screen folds in half, so it's still a flip phone. But you just flip it open.
I got a feeling those screens probably get fucked pretty early, though. I would imagine.
I think a major problem with those is they get a crease on the fold, like a visible
for
crease.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then what are you gonna do? Put like a screen protector that folds? That doesn't look like it's gonna look good.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's just
seems gimmicky.
I mean, those have been around for a while, so and like they still haven't really caught on. So I think America's just moved past the phone that flips, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, another few years with tech, we'll see what they come up with. But yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, that's if AI doesn't conquer us all in the meantime.
Yeah, but just to get some bad news from what's this? Flick? Marcus Houston's in the hospital. Oh,
Let's
God.
go right now.
Yeah.
I still hate that guy, but
dude, I get that it's like playing on the old tropes of like the guy being very protective of his sister, But the creepiest 180 I've ever seen in film history, perhaps, is at the end. He's like, "That's all you got for your girl?" Like, all right, Marcus, let's calm down.
Watching?
Yeah. I don't know how comfortable I feel about you, but like, make out with my sister. Yeah. Like, I approve now. Give her some tongue.
Yeah. Now reach around and grab her ass. Like, It's like, okay, dude. Like, I think that's a little
like,
much.
Yes, that is all I have. That is all I have for her in public, Marcus. Everything else we'll hold off in private.
Yeah.
Out of respect for you. Nah. I don't need that. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
No, we do it now.
Yeah, I get why you were fighting. You weren't fighting me off your sister. You were fighting off your own demons of like God with your sister. Jesus Christ, man. And again, it's just a movie, and these tropes have to be in there in order to move the plot forward. But like, what a terrible influence for him being an older brother to his younger sister. Again, this is just me showing my age of like looking at this from the perspective of a 35-year-old man versus a 14-year-old boy when they're talking about like, man, how are we going to get like $1,500 to pay back? And I'm just thinking over here, my middle-aged ass, like, get a job, you fucking bum.
Yeah, exactly. How about you try getting a job? Yeah.
You fill out applications. You wait for one to hire you. You work a 40-hour week. $1,500 solved.
Exactly. Yeah, the guy already told you he's giving you a few weeks.
He's giving you 3 weeks. Yeah, that is plenty of time to get your ass to Burger King. Fucking 2 weeks. You'll have $1,500.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even like poor little Joe, man. He's giving this kid all the leeway that he could have, and still Steve Harvey's gonna fucking kill him.
Yeah, and Mr. Rat's still gonna go kill him. Like, he was like, man,
I gave him 3 weeks. I'm not even charging him interest. He has plenty of time to get a decent paying job. He has no bills. He lives with his mom. He borrows money from his grandpa. What do you want from me, Mr. Rat?
Yeah, like, come on. He's the problem, not me. Like, this kid is a financial disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah. Now the problem is, little Joe, you can't dance for shit. And then like they put a paper bag over his head or a plastic bag.
Yeah, and then you just hear his last words are like, "Mr. Rat, whatever you do, don't lend him money." And then like, he just dies. Like,
I should have stuck to playing PlayStation 2 golf. Ugh.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
Is this what I broke out of prison?
He's the real victim in this movie. He's the real victim. He gives these kids an opportunity. Like, you lazy asses, y'all want to go out and get a real job? I guess I need somebody. Like, I don't feel good about it making you kids, but nobody else is going to do it. Everybody else is wanting to get a job and have a steady income.
In their defense, not that it pays great now, but this was, I think, in 2004, I think minimum wage was still like $5.50 an hour.
Possibly, but I will give you the added caveat of whatever the minimum wage was. It was higher in California, most likely double, because the minimum wage in California is actually double of what the minimum wage is in the across the nation.
Very possible. And like you said, it's not like he's got any bills other than expensive jogging suits that I guess he's got to buy.
Yeah. Let's make that clear. I'm not by any means saying that minimum wage is something a person who, has, has to afford life without, living in his parents' house. It is bonkers. Not enough money at all.
But I'm just saying, like, it may have taken him the whole few weeks to get the $1,500,
Yeah, but he would have saved his life. He would have been in danger. Tooth House would have been fine.
Yeah.
Like, that's just crazy to me. Like, man, where are we going to get $1,500? Take your ass to fucking McDonald's?
Yeah. Find a job.
Yeah. Oh, it's good stuff, man.
Well, and also, let's face it, it's California. Like, he could have found a job, not just at fast food. There's like there's a lot of farming out there. Like, he could have worked on some of that. Like, dude, be seasonal labor. Come on. Like, is it worth your life?
That seems like a bit of a stretch. I don't know how much public transportation gives out to the farms out of LA County.
I mean, fair enough. But again, his life's on the line. Like, figure something out. Like,
man, a life's on the line. I gotta get $1,500. Either I find another drug dealer to work for, or I go out to a farm minimum 70
fruit.
miles away.
Yeah. Hey, it's a thought. I didn't see him coming up with any ideas. Don't rag on me. At least I'm spitballing here.
Worst influence there, you know.
Yeah.
Out of all the worst influence yet, maybe the most trustworthy Caucasian character in the movie. Dude, like when the Wade character, the main villain, when he showed up, like, did you like, holy shit, what? Like, I haven't watched that much anime, but I know for sure he's got to look like one of the anime characters.
Oh yeah, that was definitely very much like. That was again such a. I remember when like that crazy spiky hair was really popular, and like it always looked like you just stuck your finger in an electric socket.
Yeah. Oh man. And the saddest part about watching that at the end, when they get their payback and they get to tell Wade and his crew that they're suckers and they got served. It was obviously not a great moment for Wade, but I'm thinking like, 20 minutes after the celebration, realistically, the only group of people that are experiencing a happily ever after is this dance crew that lives in Orange County.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm not shitting on Baldwin Hills. Like, I'm not disclosing my location, but let's just say I am not very far from it. It's life's a little harder out here than it is in Orange County. Wade's just gonna go home to his parents' mansion and be like, "Man, Dad, you'll never believe it. Like these dance crews that I served last time I faced them, they served me on MTV and they called me a sucker, Dad. Oh, gee, real sorry about that, Wade. You know what?
Yeah,
here's $50,000 just for you to make you feel better."
I was just gonna have his dad go, "Well, gee, son, this is the last time I'm gonna tell you, get a job or I'm cutting you off." I'm like, like you're a disappointment. Yeah.
That's awful, Wade. You gotta be a fucking paralegal now, or are you gonna bitch all day? Yeah, you're right. Let's even this out. Let's make it to where Wade has an abusive father when he gets home.
Yeah.
Take out those stupid goddamn spikes. Put on a tie. Smack, smack. Oh, dude. No, I enjoyed this. What was your first thoughts when just basking in the first half hour of this movie?
I thought, what the hell? And then I thought, dang, it's only been a half hour? Feels longer.
My man, what about the montages? You can't tell me there weren't some great montages in here. I mean, dance group montage.
I will say it was definitely nostalgic. I remember this being advertised on TV, and I kind of just remember like that era of like hip hop style being like all over MTV. Obviously, this was parodied a ton.
Dude, I was gonna say it reaches the point of parodying itself when it's like they're having like a Rocky versus Drago montage of like, doing dancing by themselves in the rain.
Yeah. What was the one that there was one what's his name? Jamie Kennedy was in a parody of this. What was that called?
Yeah, which actually that wasn't that. I mean, it bombed at the box office, but I didn't really think it was that bad. I mean, it wasn't.
Oh, Kicking It Old School.
Kicking It Old School, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the premise is that like he, as a young breakdancer, he falls into a coma from doing a breakdance move in the 90s and then wakes up present day and then tries to get back into it. And it's a pretty good premise for a comedy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could have been executed a little bit better, but I like just the premise itself is pretty funny.
That's like been a premise to do a number of things. I'm pretty sure what's her name? Rebel Wilson was just recently in a movie where she went in a coma and then had to come out and finish high school. And that seems to be one of the vehicles that's somewhat commonly used is like, just throw the character in a coma, allow for the passage of time.
Yeah. I mean, they did that with, was it Miss March?
That movie was funny, but yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Trevor.
Yeah.
Jesus, I'm so
from Whitest Kids.
So embarrassing. Yeah. The hell is his last name? One of my favorite comedians, man. I know I'm gonna say Trevor Noah, but I know that's the guy from The Daily Show. Trevor
Moore.
Trevor Moore, yeah. Oh man, he was the best.
Dude, what happened? Like, do you know?
I mean, nobody outright said it. I think out of respect, but most somewhat healthy looking, late 30s, early 40-year-olds don't just drop dead from nothing. And, when people don't outright say, like, oh, it was a brain aneurysm, kind of context clues let you know that it was, not any of those things. So what else could it have been?
Blunt force head trauma.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it says, after being involved in an accident in his residence resulting in blunt force head trauma, TMZ reported that Moore fell from the upstairs balcony of his home at around 2:30 a.m.
Jesus.
Subsequent toxicology reports identified alcohol as a contributing factor. Huh.
I mean, yeah. That is awful. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
But that just makes me, that makes me think of one of his best Whitest Kids You Know sketch where they're parodying, what is the documentarian who does Super Size Me?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, but I can't think of his name.
But basically, the concept of Super Size Me is he's gonna do nothing but eat McDonald's every day for 30 days, and then their parody, Trevor, is like, all right, I'm gonna go on a whiskey diet.
Morgan Spurlock.
He's doing like a Morgan Spurlock. Like he's like, I'm just gonna take nothing but whiskey for 30 days straight. All right, starting off with breakfast, takes a shot of breakfast. All right, well, still pretty hungry. And then Jessica did. And then, of course, obviously, he just gets shit-faced throughout the sketch.
Yeah.
It's just the best thing to say after, like, taking a shot of whiskey for breakfast. Well, still pretty hungry. Oh, so good. R.I.P., man.
Yeah.
What got us talking about him, though? Oh, Miss March. Yeah.
Miss March, yeah. We were talking about the coma trope.
Yeah. It's yeah. Yeah, you're right. It is a pretty, I didn't really think about it, but it is a pretty common trope. I mean, especially in romantic comedies, like there's one with Sandra Bullock where she's in love with a guy who's in a coma that she's never met. And then when the guy comes out of the coma, it sounds psychopathic now, but it was like a 90s rom-com. And it's, it's Sandra Bullock. So, isn't she adorable for being a psycho? But like, it's like she convinces the guy who comes out of a coma that she's his girlfriend. And that like, you just don't remember. Sounds like the plot of a horror story, but it's like supposed to be a real sweet, cute comedy.
Yeah. I remember what you're talking about. I cannot remember the name though. But that's like anything though. Like if it's played up for let me put it this way. Almost anything in a rom-com movie would be creepy if it was done in real life.
Honestly, I think that would be my pitch to studios. Hear me now. I want to remake that movie as a horror film. And Sandra Bullock can come back to reprise the role.
Yeah, it's called While You Were Sleeping. That's fairly
perfect
young.
Title for a horror.
95, yeah.
Still perfect title for a horror film.
Yeah.
Let's get Jordan Peele on this shit. This sounds like, and like it's just amazing that like they have all the whole entire construct of like a scary suspense film. Like, but would it be cute though with Sandra Bullock being the love interest?
Dude, I think we're onto something. We could start remaking movies like that, but make them as like we're gonna make it as like a suspense horror.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be kind of like Misery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I always dig those re-edited trailers. Like somebody made Misery as like a rom-com,
Yeah. And they put different music with it. Yeah.
Yeah. All he had to do is put Peter Gabriel's One Tree. Is it climbing up? No, Salisbury Hill. Yeah, I made that joke before.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. But oh man.
Although that movie does have Peter Boyle, so that's pretty cool.
Which one?
While You Were Sleeping. I just looked it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, damn. Maybe we need to check it out. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, I was just fine talking shit about it, but then you said Peter Boyle. I'm like, well, hold up. Let's take it seriously now.
See, that guy'll do. Dude, that guy's in like everything, and the movie's never bad because of him. Like, remember, he was in Red Heat.
Yep, he sure was.
Yeah.
No, I enjoy that we're having a through line with our movies, but I like for it to come more organically by accident. Like I was heavily tickled that Little Joe came up in this movie.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah. That should be something we should do. We should pick out.
We should make
actor.
T-shirts. Yeah. We should make T-shirts. Justice for Little Joe.
Justice for Little Joe. Yeah, exactly. PlayStation 2 for Little Joe.
Yeah. The man can't catch a break in any movie we've seen him in.
He just got sent back to prison.
Yeah. We hope he got sent back to prison.
Yeah.
God willing. Yeah. Mr. Rad let him go back to prison.
Yeah, okay, so the Half Past Dead was before this 02, so he got out, ran a drug ring around Southern California, and got sent back or killed. That's my fan theory.
I'm going to say it was very much of a Godfather scenario of like, just when he thought he was out, Omarion and Marcus Houston pulled him back in. Wouldn't it be great if there was like a deleted scene and he was like, "Nah, kids, I don't want to do that live anymore. Please, you're the only one with all the connects. Like we can't make it out here without you, Little Joe. All right, I'll do it for the kids."
You don't know what it's like being in a Supermax facility. Like,
yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of Steven Seagal?
Yeah, gotta understand.
No.
I can't go back to prison. The last one, a bunch of Matrix cosplayers came out and shot up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and all I was trying to do was play some PS2.
Yeah. Terrible. Justice for Little Joe.
Justice for Little Joe. We'll make T-shirts like the ones they had with the kid on it.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's also, speaking of jail, Little Kim's in this film.
Yeah, that was wild. Kind of out of nowhere.
And my question is, because I could have, maybe I'm wrong, but I could have sworn she did some time as well. Was it before or after this movie?
I feel like after. Because this was still kind of like, obviously, when she's still relevant and pretty popular.
Yeah, but it's not like any rapper who's done time became, not relevant because they did time.
Yeah, it was 2006. She did.
Oh, so it was shortly after this. Okay.
About a year.
What did she do?
That's what I'm trying to find out. Here's an old article from 05. Let's see.
Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to find out is, am I harder than Little Kim?
Oh, it's for lying to a federal grand jury.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Lying to a federal grand jury to protect friends involved in a 2001 shootout outside a Manhattan radio station. Well, I didn't even know she went to prison, so he brought it. That's why I had to look it up.
Yeah. I just remember it being semi-relevant around this time. And, yeah. Little Kim. She's little in stature, but...
Dude, did you find it kind of weird at the end where they were talking about, we're going to do this like the streets? And they were like, it was almost like the only thing they didn't do was wink at each other. Like, what?
Yeah. Well, I always enjoyed taking that literal, like, oh, we're going to take this to the streets. Like, oh boy, everyone exit the arena right now. They're going to the streets, guys. Oh, what? No, we're staying here. We're just basically playing like an exhibition game of breakdancing. Like, oh, it's just the streets are here. The streets are here, guys. They're here. Like, just in case.
I guess
I'm the only cracker here didn't take the. Yeah. Am I the only one who took it literally? Like, I thought we were all going to be panicking towards the door. I didn't want to miss the final battle.
I guess it's like street tacos. I could actually go into a storefront too It doesn't actually have to be at like a food truck or anything. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
That's an excerpt from this movie for sure. Logan was like, taken to the streets like street tacos.
Yeah, that's from the writer's room. That's a behind the scenes. Yeah, when they were like, "Does this make sense?" Yeah, man. It's like street tacos.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks, Johnson. Yeah, that might just make the final cut.
Yeah, I love that our Johnson character made his way from making phallic puns in the Ernest Scared Stupid movie to now just like taking the streets literal.
Yeah. Also, the sound effects when he was getting beat up.
Oh my god, was that not comical? It was like literally like a fucking like an old kung fu movie.
That
like,
literally sounds like they just pulled the most generic, like out of a sound effects library, like the most generic, like punch sound effects, like they finished the whole movie, release this tomorrow, and they're like, "Oh crap, we forgot this scene. Just throw those in. Just throw them in. I don't care. Just throw anything."
The only thing it was missing was like a Bruce Lee. Wah!
Yeah, it seriously sounds like every kid trying to imitate a punch. Where he's like,
yeah, there was a wild sound in it too. I can't remember it, but it was like holy shit. You only see the sound of like a old kung fu movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
like the variation
that.
of sounds.
That was a bit of a funny moment of like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's one thing, like, I know we were giving shit to Red Heat last time with their funny sound effects, but I'll give them this and Red Heat, like, even though it was still a goofy sound, it was the same sound. This one was like, oh, we gotta hit every note. Like, yeah, we're gonna have a G chord of him
just randomly drop them in there. Just
one with lower
like
bass.
The first 10. Yeah.
Like ting tom.
Yeah.
What? Just what part of the hand makes that noise, or what is it? The body part? They're like where it makes them like they're slapping a drum. Like,
did you think his sister's acting was very flat too?
Yeah, but also she was super young. Like she might have just turned 18 for this movie. Because I looked her up on IMDb as well. I looked checked, like she's only 3 years older than me.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
I mean, I don't.
So
I
got to give her some room there. Like this is most definitely probably her first movie. Who knows if it was her first acting gig or not?
Yeah, and I mean it worked, but at the same time, it was it just felt a little. I don't know, like she was saying everything the same way.
Honestly, it fit right in the movie. I don't know what you're talking about. Like everyone was kind of a one note. Megan Good, beautiful with 2 L's, even though she had a necklace that said beautiful only with 1 L.
Oh, she was gonna play her friend, yeah.
Yeah, she kind of had more charisma, but like she was stuck in this trap of just being this,
she's playing a goofy character though. Like
exactly. Like, but even working with that, I thought she did a good job of bringing that to life, even though it was just a cringeworthy character. But like, I don't know, they were all just kind of playing one note or whatever. Like Omarion was just Mr. Smiles, Mr. Smooth, Yeah. And then Marcus Houston was supposed to be the hard guy. Like even when they're just like having the first exhibition dance off or whatever, like his facial expressions didn't really like match of like this is a dance off, man. Like you don't have to look at the other side like you're gonna fucking murder them.
Yeah, like calm down, dude. Like it's you guys are literally I don't even know what that was. You're just jumping around and
take a note from Mr. Rad if you want to be his protege, okay? The real way to be hard is to do it in secret. Be all smiles up front, and then little Joe's disappear in the background.
Dude, Mr. Rad's hiding in plain sight. I guarantee you he's like FBI most wanted list, but like nobody even knows.
Yeah. I mean, this is obviously like a pay thing. Like if we're just gonna look at it in the reality of the film, it's like Mr. Rad was so hard, Mr. Chuck didn't even say a fucking word without his permission.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But also that's because, they didn't want to, he was just a featured extra. They ain't going to pay him for a fucking line.
Yeah. And,
but if we're looking in the reality of the universe, I got to take it as Mr. Rad is such a kingpin of this fucking area. Like, Mr. Chuck, you only show what I need you to show, and you don't say a fucking word.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, this local drug dealer giving you a problem? Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not going to give you a problem no more.
And then you know what Mr. Rad's rebuttal is at? Mr. Chuck, did I say you could speak?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
just take care of little Joe. And shut up. Yeah.
Yeah. If you already knew what I was going to say, why are you sitting here telling me? Okay, Mr. Red, okay.
Dude, excuse me, that's funny, but you're exactly right. Like, just a featured extra. Like, whoa. If we give him a line, it changes things. Like, we don't want to have to pay. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me looking at it too much little inside baseball, but it always kind of like irks me when I see that. Like, you know, that's just never been like a natural thing of like to point at somebody, say so much about them, and that person never says a fucking word.
Yeah, it doesn't even
like,
say hello.
And, yeah. In real life, you're like, oh, is he mute or a fucking psycho?
Yeah.
Like, not even a, how's it going, everybody? Are we doing gang?
Yeah.
Like,
well, maybe that's part of his persona, like how he handles business. Like, he doesn't say anything. He's like, what's his name from Gone in 60 Seconds? He doesn't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. That's all. It's all of the ambiance of Mr. Rad's men, you know?
Yeah, and how he hires these apparent.
You ever hear them say anything, it means you're already fucking dead.
And he hires these tough guys to work a teenage dance competition.
Yeah. or best case scenario, Mr. Chuck's just got a goofy voice. Like, yeah, y'all hear what Mr. Rad said?
Maybe that
I'll
is.
put you
like
down
Mike
if
Tyson.
you come at me. Yeah.
Yeah, where he's like a tough, but then you hear him talking. It's like, we won the fight, and I think, you know, I'm the strongest there he is.
Yeah, but then again, also like Mike Tyson, if you see him hit somebody, you're like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah. Doesn't Tyson have the greatest voice you've ever heard in your life?
Yeah, it's very. That's a lovely, lovely voice. Like,
yeah. I put him up there with Orson Welles, James Earl Jones, and Mike Tyson. Those are the three most just powerful, charismatic voices I've ever heard.
Dude, Eddie Murphy had a joke about that back in the day, where he was talking about Mike Tyson punched people so hard that, like, after the fights over, sometimes like he'd give him a kiss, and he was like, usually if anybody give me a kiss, another man, I'd be like, whoa, man, what? Like, I'll get mad, but he's like, Mike Tyson hit him so hard that it's like, okay, that's fine. Like, please just don't hit me anymore.
Dude, Tyson has never been more terrifying than in his prime when he just lost his shit on. I think it was a reporter, and I definitely can't say what he said today, but it was, "I'll fuck you till you love me."
Oh yeah,
yeah, and it's just like the combination of the most terrifying combination I think could ever come out of from being, having Mike Tyson shouting at you is he's mad at you and he's also hitting on you. I'll fuck you till you love me. Oh God, I don't know which one to be more scared of. like the act or the not being able to escape the cuddles afterwards.
I'm guessing that was probably a little before he ended up doing prison time.
It was around that time. I mean, it was definitely its prime. You know, I think he might have been going through the accusations at the time. I don't know. I'm not a historian of Mike Tyson. I just know that those would be the words that would make me forever be a hermit in a different country if Mike Tyson.
I'm moving. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I love my family, but are they worth me getting the shit kicked out of me and then having to become Mike Tyson's life partner because I can't escape him?
Neither of those sound fun. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the kind of love I want to experience, Johnny.
Me neither. Yeah. I think I could do without.
Yeah. Well, you got anything else you want to add to the old getting served here?
No, I just hope our listeners enjoy being served with this episode. Perhaps they'll watch the film themselves if they haven't already.
Well, if they didn't enjoy it, well, guess what, suckers? You got served.
They got served either way.
Yeah. So what? It's your turn to choose the next movie. Do you have one in mind?
Not right now, but I'm sure I'll come up with one very soon.
Okay, well, I think that's a good opportunity to say that I think our next episode, which, if we get to do it live, God willing, it will be out of order or at least we'll do it live next week from this recording, which might be sooner than people expect. But it will just be us chatting it up like an old episode. Or I think we want to try to do it, every other one we'll do a movie review, and then another one where we're just, shooting the shit, trying to give them the best of both worlds, Johnny,
Maybe
trying to hit all
out a little more.
Yeah, trying to hit them from all angles, breathe in, breathe out. That's what it's all about.
Is breathing in and breathing out.
That's right. And this has been another episode of the Big Boys Podcast. Y'all stay the fuck out of Mr. Rad's neighborhood.
He will kill you.
Well, how about that for a third installment of our third season? Yes, we sure did enjoy serving you up a good old reviewing of You Got Served. But don't worry, dear listener. I would never tell you that you got served. And even much less, I would never call you a sucker, because I respect you. No, this serving was one of something similar to Omarion's justice being served. This was a service of gratitude for the great film You Got Served. And if you don't know now, well, chances are you gonna find out. Oh yes, the prophecies rang true. They told us in 04, and here we are, finding out. Finding out indeed that B2K actually stands for Boys of the New Millennium. Makes so much sense when you apply logic to the thought process. Although if they were called B2K because they were boys to clowns with a K, I'd be lying if I said that wouldn't have tickled my fancy as well. Let me tell you, I would have got a good chuckle out of that. Oh, I'm not too familiar with their music, obviously, and not so much with their body of work before or after this movie. I know that Marcus Houston was a child actor and did some stuff before this, and I presume some stuff after this. And if it comes upon my radar, I might give it a look-see. But my point being is this was such a delectable meal of a movie. So much craziness. So many questions left unanswered, which I thoroughly enjoy in watching and reviewing these movies. Because it leaves the plot of the films up to the viewer's imagination, and you get to get creative with it. Like, what the hell is Steve Harvey doing in this movie? I'm pretty sure he was cast as a guy who was gonna, betray them in the end. And, be a man who took advantage of the boys. But then Steve Harvey probably put his foot down and said, no, I'm a role model. Years from now, I will be hosting Family Feud. You ain't putting this negativity on my resume. Which, honestly, Steve-O, I gotta have to agree with. I mean, just because you play a character who does bad things in a movie
I think your audience is intelligible enough to understand that that's a character in a movie. It's not Steve Harvey betraying a bunch of 19-year-olds in a dance-off. I think they could differentiate between the two. Show me reasoning. Hank. And that's my Family Feud joke for the day. And in closing, as always, I'd like to say, Como se llama hermana? Lo siento, Palapinto. Good night, all my North Texans. And sweet dreams, all my fellow Angelines. It's a term I just made up for Angelinos. And quite possibly, Angelinas. Is that? I was just making a joke about, woman named Angelina, but that could be, a new term for ladies who live in Los Angeles. Los Angelinas. I'm an idiot. I need to quit blabbering my mouth. This has been another episode of the Big Boys Podcast.
Big Boys is a podcast produced by Not So Funny or Proud Productions. The team consists of co-hosts, co-producers, and co-editors Brian Hickey and John Sorrells, better known as John the Great. For more information about the duo or this show, please visit us at bigboyspodspot.com. Or feel free to take a gander at our production page, notsofunnyorproud.com. Look us up on social media and follow us at Big Boys Podspot. New episodes drop every Thursday on every popular podcast hosting platform known to man. So please be sure to like, subscribe, vibe, describe, contrive, confide, collide, abide, preside, tell your tribe, and most importantly, do prescribe. Me an elixir for talking out the side of my neck.